Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Cammy Goes Keto, where I'm here with Nikki from Sugar Addiction Group. And she's awesome. And we're here for Motivation Monday. And today is our measurement day. And so we're going to do our measurements and then we're going to talk about our dedication of being present here today. All right. You ready? Okay. So I think with this Riverside, you might have to talk while I'm out there doing my thing. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
deletes it.
Okay,
Okay. Here
I
we
will.
go.
Okay, here she goes, people. It's February 26th when we're filming, and we're going to do our measurements. And we both have been, so we're scared to measure. There she is from the front, and then here she is from the back and the side. Complete view. She's going to get the belt, the famous belt. Let's see. Which one is it on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which one? Looks cute. It's still on 4. Yay. She's still looking cute. I know she's going to be disappointed, though, that it's still on 4, but she should be fine. Here she is. She's back.
All right.
All right. So you're still on 4. I don't think I've gone down either, so we'll see.
Yeah. Did you tell him that we're both having some struggles?
Yes. I said
At
she
least
might be
I am.
disappointed. I may be disappointed.
I can speak for myself. Yeah. So I'm really surprised that I'm at 4. I thought for sure I would be down to 3, but my waist is hanging in there. But the scale, well, the last time I weighed in, I lost 5 pounds with Jeff. I don't understand that. And I weigh in again in 2 days. And I think there's going to be a significant gain just because of what I've been eating and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Let me do mine.
Okay, here we go, Nikki.
I'm wearing my low carb USA still.
Low
Okay.
Carb USA shirt is on. It looks good. It looks
Me.
like it might
Sorry,
put a
the
little
sun
loop
is like
here.
weird. Can you still see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. So let me get my tape.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think last time we measured Nikki was at 39. She started at 40 and doing her waist there.
Ew, I feel like I've gained, Cam. I'm at 40. Back to 40.
Oh yeah, back to 40. Yeah. Okay. Well, is that where it normally it's not higher?
It's not, well, I was down to 39, remember?
No, but your weight, like where you measure your waist on your body, it's not higher than when you
Yeah,
were.
I wanted on the biggest part right here. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, the biggest part was, but I gave up
All right.
dairy and I thought it would help with the digestive issues, but it hasn't kicked in yet. So,
So still struggling, so still having digestive issues and
yeah,
being regular and feeling good as far as the GI tract goes.
yeah,
And then a lot of stress going on at work.
yes.
And so my question to you is, do you tend to think you're eating a little bit more and just not measuring or paying attention when you're
No,
under
I think it's the
stress?
opposite. I think it's the opposite. I'm not eating as much. I'm trying to still maintain eating 3 times a day and maintain what I'm eating, but I'm trying to keep up with drinking water, and, like, I'll even be holding my pee now because I wanna just keep working, and
I
so
see.
I'm, like, holding it, and then because I just wanna take less breaks and get more done, how we are when we get stressed, so I think that's part of it too.
I see. Are you eating lunch at work or working through lunch?
I'm usually eating it standing up in our kitchen. Today, I actually sat down and ate with a coworker, but, like, if nobody else is in there eating, I'll just eat it by the sink really quick, get it down, throw my stuff away, and then get back to my desk. So, yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. You know, coincidentally, when I lost the last 5 pounds with Jeff, I was on vacation.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was eating healthy food. We did go out and twice and eat out, and I did a pretty good job there. And we were walking a lot, but still I was very surprised that I had lost 5 pounds.
But you were having a blast too with your girlfriends, and you guys
Yes, we
were just,
were
like,
having
bonding and having fun and, like, napping and getting enough sleep and just, like, lounging around and not feeling, like, any guilt about it at all.
Well, and the other thing too is that I got a cold. I got a pretty bad cold on that trip, and I had to cancel a couple of get-togethers with other people in the town because I didn't wanna get them sick. One of them had lupus, and one of them was, in their 80s.
Mhm.
And so I stayed at home and I had brought my lectures to work on to become a metabolic health practitioner. So I was also getting work done. So I felt really good about that. I was low stress, getting work done, getting myself better, healing myself from this cold. It was
Yeah.
pretty much a bummer for like 10 days. But so yeah, life gets lifey. This is life. And this is.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we were talking about, it's more than just having the food plan. Like, it's the spiritual and the inner work, the mental game, it's all of it. It can't just be, "Well, what's wrong with the food?" Because we all know people who have stuck to their food plan, including us, and, like, the weight still won't release. Or there's people who have the opposite problem as us, they're trying to gain weight, and they can't gain weight for the life of them. So, the body has a memory, like, the body keeps the score, and, there's other reasons why our body is holding on to the weight because it's not thinking that we're safe to release it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I have to admit that for me, for the most part, when I eat my food plan and I stay on my food plan consistently, that's the key, right? Consistency is the key. I mean, staying on my food plan for 3 days and then eating a little bit of food here and there for a day, and then staying on it for 2 days and then eating a little more food and then staying on it for 4 days, that's not consistent enough.
yeah.
And when I am consistent, when I went 92 days, I lost 19 pounds in 3 months. So that's, like 7 pounds a month
Yeah,
almost.
that's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, over a year, if I was consistent.
Mhm.
And so, I'm really lucky because when I eat well, I do well.
Your body responds, you don't have anything holding it.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, but the spiritual part, or the God part, the bringing in my higher power is the part that's been missing lately and that people don't talk a lot about. And I think that's something that I'm going to be discussing with Mike tomorrow because I'm not so sure how everything all plays into each other to keep yourself abstinent because some people propose abstinence, which I think for me is the right way to be doing it. Some people say, well, you can have moderation, which I don't think in the addiction world is the way to go. I think when you really are addicted to sugar and ultra processed food items, you have to abstain.
Mhm.
But you also have to be doing these ideas. Rob Siwas has a wonderful lecture about it where you have to be doing effort-based dopamine.
Mhm.
And the way that you do that is by doing things that make you feel good, that give you pride, and that, you put work into something and you have pride from it and you don't concern yourself so much with the outcome of something as you do with the work that you did to put into it to get there, to, just have that experience. And so
Yeah.
that's really important too, I think.
Yeah, enjoying the journey and what it's making you become rather than looking for the finish line and just checking it off a list. Because 'cause I'm notorious for that. I just wanna get it done and check it off a list and then move on. And sometimes recovery is not checking something off of a list. It's you chipping away at yourself and your demons and things that are bothering you, and it's an ever evolving process. It's never gonna end because you're working on you. It's not a list.
And the other thing that happens is that you have to realize that you really don't control. People like you think that, oh, if I do it this way, I'll have this outcome and I'll be in control. And and we really aren't in control of our outcomes. We have we can be in action, but the outcome and how it's going to happen, what ultimately happens, there's too many variables in the world that are
Mhm.
that are playing in on that so that you really can't control everything in the outcome.
Yeah, and I think for us, we have to constantly remind ourselves, "What is within my realm of control?" Like, what can I control? I can control what I put in my mouth every day. I can control what I put in my mind and my view, what I let in my you know, in this thing and all you know what I mean? The phone, the computer, what I'm watching on TV, and I can control who I have relationships with. And we haven't talked about that on this channel, but I think we should at some point between me and you, because I think Sometimes there's relationships in our lives that don't serve us, but we don't know how to cut them off or slowly tiptoe out of the room.
Right, right. Or sometimes you don't even realize that it's a relationship that is so unhealthy because
True.
you're not aware. You haven't been able to step back and get an awareness about, wow, maybe I need to evaluate this relationship.
Yeah, and it could be somebody that's not necessarily super important to you. It could be like an acquaintance or a colleague or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be, a best friend or a girlfriend or, somebody in your family. It could just be, we've had girls in our group that had problems with their neighbors, and until that was resolved, it was driving them nuts. So, yeah.
But we're here.
Well, we're here.
We're
Even when
we're
life gets
here.
messy, we're here. And we know what works for us, right? And I think even if you're a harmful user, you still have to be abstinent for a time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because if you're using sugar in a harmful way and you can go back to using it in some type of moderation in the future, that you still have to pull off of it for 90 days or 6 months or a year, whatever that time frame is, to give your body time to heal from the physiological addiction of it. It's just
Absolutely.
it's just the food is too processed and too highly addictive. We were talking about how mad we were getting because they have dedicated scientists to find the bliss point to keep us hooked on this just like a cigarette. And so this is not kindergarten stuff. They made this food really, really addictive so that we can't control
Yeah.
ourselves with it.
It's very, very sophisticated. And I think that how long you need to go without sugar before you could consider maybe partaking in it when you had the right motives and you have witnesses and you have an environment, you and it's planned or like something on your birthday or whatever it is when you're out socially. I think a lot of that depends on how sick you are metabolically to start, and I'm still really sick metabolically.
Yeah. And I think sometimes if we're too far gone, like we've developed diabetes or type 2 or gotten like certain or we have autoimmune, we might never be able to physiologically go back to moderating it because our body has just gotten too damaged from it. So even though our mind may be strong enough to taste it again, our body is just too broken and it has too much, disease from it. So I'm diabetes runs in my family, so there might be never a Nikki that can have a lot of sugar again, or even just like once a week or whatever people consider normal, just because our physiology just can't take that amount.
Well, yeah, that could be true. And another thing to consider though is that when you are off of the ultra processed foods and the sugars and you start to heal your body, the body is capable of so much and it can heal a lot.
Yeah.
And it just depends, like you said, on how sick you are to start and how long you can go to be healthy. But, people getting off the ultra processed foods and going to a low carbohydrate ketogenic diet are reversing their diabetes right and left.
Oh yeah,
And we
absolutely.
used to think that that could never be done, that once you were a diabetic, you were always a diabetic. And now we're learning that by getting yourself into good metabolic health, you can reverse a lot of things. So I like
Yeah.
to stay hopeful, right?
Well, definitely, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but I am saying, like, you might say, for instance, like, carbs a day worked for you. It got all your weight off, it got you off sugar and flour, and you got metabolically healthy. You might have to stay at 50 max carbs for the rest of your life, or maybe once in a while, you can go up to, like, 100 or something, and then go back down, but it will
I
never
see
be.
what you're saying for
You see what I'm
maintenance.
saying? For maintenance. You're probably if that's your happy number where your weight's not too underweight or it's not too overweight, you feel good, your conditions are in remission, all that kind of stuff, you might not be able to pull off of that sweet spot, pun intended. But you might not be able to go too much this way or that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, yeah, except on
Yeah.
maybe rare occasions like we were talking about twice a year.
Yeah, and then like you said, it has to be the right conditions, like, you're out in front of God and everybody, so you can't, hide in the corner and have more, you know what I mean, and go off the rails and make it like a sneaky, exciting thing, And then, you also have to make sure that, am I in a good place in life? If I'm super stressed and all this kind of stuff, it might not be the right place to test like a little dalliance out with my friends or family, because then when stress kicks in the next day, you're going to go back into the ditch, right? So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, so there's so many variables and so many different things, and we don't have all the answers yet completely
no,
either. Nobody understand there's different points of view out there as far as how to manage things.
yeah.
But
But
I
I
think
I think you're right in sharing that the abstinence part of it and the body part of it and the mind and the spirituality part is definitely two parts of a whole. Like we have to have both to heal. We can't be all in the diet and the science, but we can't be all in the spirituality. Like God loves me and he's going to be there for me every day. But if I keep shoving crap in my mouth, there's no healing going to take place. It's a symbiotic relationship. So there's a phrase and it's called pray, but move your feet. So it's like, yes, we're with God, but we also have to, be a good foot soldier and be a good steward of this body that he gave us and take care of it. So it's a two-sided coin, right?
yeah, that's great. And with that, let us say amen.
Woo woo.
Woo, woo. All right, so we'll weigh in again next month. I mean, we'll do our measurements next month.
Yep.
Um, Probably toward the end of the month, right? Because we're at the end of the month here. And
Yeah,
in the
sounds good.
meantime, tune in for another
Hang in
Motivation
there. It's
Monday.
not always roses and rainbows, but we hang in there, right?
That's right, and we're showing up. So just show
Yep.
up and do the best you can, and just know that the best that you can do, as long as you're putting forth effort, is gonna be good enough.
Yep. Just baby steps, sticking with it, perseverance. We'll get there.
All right, everybody, take good care. Thank you, Nikki.
Bye.